I didn't realize the hallway chair would be the first unraveling thread. I remember standing at the entrance of the reception hall, tuxedo collar scratching against my throat, as the usher handed me a folded piece of paper with my seat assignment. My sister's wedding, my only sister, should have been a night of joy. Instead, my seat was marked not inside the main hall, but outside, at a table wedged against a wall near the coat racks. Guests passed me with their laughter, the clink of glasses echoing from inside, while I sat like an exile. And then came the smirk. My mother-in-law leaned in, her perfume sharp and sweet, her lips curled. "Only close family get the real seats," she whispered, before drifting away, leaving me alone in the hallway glow of flickering sconces. Something inside me tightened. Why wasn't I considered close family? I had been married to Emily for 6 years. I had been by her side through losses, triumphs, holidays, and ordinary Tuesday nights. Yet here I was, banished to the edges of her world. At first, I told myself it was a mistake. Weddings were chaotic. Mistakes happened. But the look in my mother-in-law's eyes, it wasn't accidental. It was a deliberate cut, a wound delivered with surgical precision. Emily was radiant that night. Her laughter carried through the hall like music, her hand brushing her hair in the way I had once found hypnotic. But something was off. Every time she glanced toward me, her smile faltered. It was the look someone gives a stranger who knows too much. I tried to dismiss it. She was stressed. Her family was complicated. I forced myself to smile, to toast my sister, to dance with relatives who pitted my hallway seat. But unease curled at the edges of my mind like smoke. When we got home that night, I asked, why was I seated outside? She didn't meet my eyes. Mom handled the seating chart. Don't make a big deal out of it. A big deal? Emily, I sat with the coat racks. Her voice sharpened. So what? You're overreacting. It was one night. But it wasn't just one night. It was the crack in the foundation I had been too blind to notice before. Little things began to surface. Late-night texts that made her smile when she thought I wasn't looking. Phone calls she took outside, her voice lowered to a hush. Business trips that multiplied suddenly, each one stretching longer than the last. One evening, as I folded laundry, her phone buzzed on the counter. A message lit up the screen. Can't wait to see you again. Last night was unforgettable. My chest tightened. My first instinct wasn't anger. It was denial. Maybe it was a friend, a cousin, someone joking. I set the phone down as if it had burned me. I told myself not to jump to conclusions. But the seed was planted, and it grew. I tried to catch her in honesty without asking directly. You've been working late a lot, I said casually over dinner. She nodded without looking up. Deadlines. And the trips. She shrugged. Career opportunities. Her tone was flat, rehearsed. And yet, I swallowed her answers because the alternative was too painful to face. Until the night I couldn't ignore it anymore. She had gone to bed early, claiming exhaustion. I stayed in the living room, the silence of the house pressing down like a weight. Her purse sat on the coffee table. Inside, tucked in the side pocket, was a hotel keycard with a sticky note wrapped around it. Room 317. Friday. I stared at it until my vision blurred. My hands shook. My first thought wasn't revenge, or even confrontation. It was heartbreak so raw it left me breathless. Every memory of us. The first kiss, our wedding day, the nights we fell asleep on the couch, collapsed under the weight of that little card. Friday came. She told me she was working late. I followed at a distance, my stomach in knots. She didn't drive to the office. She drove to a hotel by the highway, her car sliding into the lot like it had been there many times before. I sat in my own car, watching as she walked inside. Minutes passed like hours. Finally, I got out, the night air sharp against my face, and entered the lobby. The receptionist smiled politely, oblivious to the storm inside me. Room 317. I walked the carpeted hallway, each step heavier than the last. My heart pounded so loudly it drowned out the hum of the lights above. I stopped at the door, hand hovering over the handle, but I couldn't bring myself to knock. Instead, I listened. Laughter. Hers. And then a man's voice. It felt like a blade twisting inside me. I stumbled back, my vision tunneling, my breath shallow. I didn't confront them. I couldn't. Not yet. I walked out of that hotel like a ghost, my soul splintered. She came home late that night, slipping into bed as if nothing had happened. I lay awake beside her, staring at the ceiling, listening to the rhythm of her breathing. The next morning, I placed the hotel keycard on the kitchen counter. Her face drained of color. Where did you get that? Where do you think? My voice cracked, heavy with betrayal. Tell me the truth, Emily. She swallowed hard, her hands trembling. It's not what you think. Don't insult me. I heard you. I saw you. Her eyes filled with tears. I didn't mean for it to happen. I felt empty, like we were drifting apart. He made me feel seen again. Her words sliced deeper than silence ever could. I wanted to scream, to rage, to break something. Instead, I stood there numb. You sat me in a hallway, I said quietly. And all this time, you were already moving me out of your life. She reached for me, but I stepped back. Don't. For days, I drifted through the house like a stranger. Her apologies filled the air, but they felt hollow, echoes in an empty room. My trust was gone, shattered beyond repair. One evening I packed a bag. She stood in the doorway, eyes red, voice breaking. Please don't go. We can fix this. I shook my head. You already chose. Maybe not with words, but with actions. And now I have to choose too. I left without looking back. Months later, my sister told me something that chilled me to the bone. The wedding seating chart, the hallway placement, the smirk from my mother-in-law. It hadn't been her mother's doing. It was Emily's. She had requested it. She had wanted me out of sight, away from her family, away from the man she was already seeing. The betrayal wasn't just in the hotel room. It had started long before, woven into moments I thought were innocent. And suddenly, the hallway chair wasn't just a mistake. It was the truth staring me in the face all along.